Hello everyone, it's I, Dr. Packer of the SCP Foundation, and welcome to Spooky Month. Today we have a very special SCP for you all, SCP-2287, also known as Mr. Headless. So sit back and enjoy the scares. Item: SCP-2287. Object Class: Safe. Special Containment Procedures: SCP-2287 is to be contained in a hall redacted of site redacted, except for authorized testing. SCP-2287's mask is not to be removed. SCP-2287 does not require food, but can be provided with incense on its request, contingent on good behavior. Literature provided to 2277 is to be converted into Braille. Description: SCP-2287 is a headless humanoid white male who manifests multiple anomalous properties. Primarily, among these is that it is able to function as a living being despite lacking a head. The words of, quote, Mr. Headless from Little Misters, Rights Reserved by Dr. Wondertainment, are tattooed on the lower side of SCP-2287's back. Its exposed neck stump is covered with live skin. Radiographical examination has shown that the neck stump has only had the bottom 4 cervical vertebrae, but there are no signs of spinal damage. The head-based functions which SCP-2287 is able to emulate include thought, hearing, and smell. It is able to speak, but has not demonstrated the ability to replicate the normal tonalities of a human voice, as well as it claims to be blind. It does not need to eat or breathe, and has claimed that its energy source may be some kind of amplified photosynthesis or something. See Log 2287-41B. Direct visual observation of SCP-2287's headlessness is not possible. Individuals who attempt to observe this will instead perceive headless visions of themselves as seen from SCP-2287's perspective. Such individuals describe feeling disconnected from themselves, but are still able to control the movement of their own bodies, albeit with difficulty. This effect does not occur when SCP-2287 is viewed through any other means than the unaided human eye. SCP-2287's headlessness can be observed via live video transmission, in photographic prints, and mirrors, and crew windows or lenses. Individuals who have undergone radiocherotomy have been unable to observe headlessness. No individuals who have undergone cataract surgery have as yet been available for testing. Motion detectors and similar monitoring equipment show SCP-2287 to be headless. Despite this, SCP-2287 is capable of performing tasks which would require a head, such as wearing items or headgear, including masks, hats, scarves, headphones, nose plugs, earplugs, earrings, eyeglasses, lipstick, and barrettes. For a full list of items, see SCP Document 2287-N12. SCP-2287 was discovered in Redacted, Wisconsin on November 24, 2000 Redacted. After a significant number of reports from citizens appeared describing the anomalous effects of SCP-2287, witnesses were given amnestic treatment, and SCP-2287 was contained without issue. Interview 2287-5. Begin Log. Dr. Howard. Good evening, SCP-2287.
Hey, Dr. Howard. What's up? More hearing experiments?
No, actually tonight, this is more of an interview, for instance. We were wondering, what could you tell us about Dr. Wondertainment?
Okay, I'll tell you what I can, but I never actually saw her, you know, what with the whole blind thing.
But you did interact with her.
With who? Oh, Dr. Wondertainment. Yeah, heck of a nice guy. Most of the time, I think he had some really crazy ideas, like what he had in mind for me. See?
Wait. First you said her, and then you said he.
What?
First you referred to Dr. Wondertainment as a woman, then as a man.
I don't understand what you mean, like Dr. Wondertainment as an actual person. What are you talking about? You're confusing me.
But you just said. No, I'm sorry. I must have misheard. My bad.
Well, okay, for a minute there you were making 0 sense at all. And they call me Headless. Ha.
Well, when you work for the Foundation long enough, you discover many situations that don't entirely make sense. You did say, though, that Wondertainment had intended something specific for you.
Oh, yes, right. Well, basically, you know how during the holidays there's special holiday themed products.
Yes,
So basically, I'm a Halloween special. You follow?
that that's it.
Yep, the way I heard it, they were originally going to do Sweetie for Halloween. But I don't know, some corporate garbage, executives sabotaging each other, you know how it goes. So I'm backup plan sent me out on the porch. I play dead, and then when the kids come by, ooh, I sit up and wave my arms at them. Then show them my stump. Look, look, everyone, a headless monster. Lurch around, rawr, rawr, the whole deal. Dr. Wondertainment's Mr. Headless, spooky Halloween fun for the whole family.
I see, and you are, quote, fun for the whole family, I mean.
Well, I guess so. For the most part, I mean, yeah, people enjoyed me, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but I never really got it myself. You know, I sit there, I get up, I stand around, I wave my arms, and that's pretty much it. But people would be scared and they'd have fun, and that's enough for me. Or it was anyway until you people got a hold of me. Could be worse, I guess.
Did you enjoy entertaining? Do you miss it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it could get a bit boring when I have to stand around, sit around waiting for people to show up, but it was really great hearing everyone's reaction on Halloween. No less it's funny how people find scary stuff funny. One night a year, you know, no matter how many times you live through a year, they only change their minds on Halloween.
Are you the only holiday themed, uh,
Hey, you can say little mister, I don't mind. It's what I am.
I suppose it just, well, it sounds vaguely emphasizing to me.
It's what Dr. Wondertainment said we were called. So it's what we're called, but yeah, I'm the only holiday themed little mister. At first, Dr. Wondertainment was planning on having more of us. I remember she had all these ideas for Mr. Ramadan and Miss Masteland and Mr. Di- Diwala and Miss Yom Kippur and Mr. Hogmanay. But she never did anything with any of us, just me.
How do you feel about that?
I see, never really thought about it. To be honest, I guess he just decided I'd be more interesting if I was the only one. Or maybe he just changed his mind about doing holiday stuff. He changes his mind a lot. You know, what you get when there's a whole bunch of corporate jerks all making decisions against each other. That's why I'm Mr. Headless Spooky Halloween Fun for the whole family instead of Mr. Halloween.
Do you see yourself as scary?
I see myself as someone who brings surprise and excitement. When they get scared, that means I'm doing a good job. Although, well, it's been getting harder lately. The doctor's a one man operation, and she doesn't realize, or didn't realize, how many kids wear glasses these days. And whenever I live through a year like this, with cameras and stuff like that, the effect is pretty much ruined. I mean, yes, I'm still scary, Mr. Headless. Spooky Halloween fun for the whole family, but it doesn't seem to be as much fun for the people when they don't get to be headless with me.
Where we found you back in Wisconsin, could you tell us what you were doing there?
Where you found me? Well, I spent a few years there with my family. I think by that point they were consecutive years, but I couldn't swear to that. I do know that some of them were for sure years. I hadn't lived in before. You know, a year always feels weird for the first time around, right? They mostly felt like that. Anyway, so the family I was with, they mostly kept me in the attic, which was, well, it was quiet. I remember sometimes I could hear noises from downstairs if they were being loud enough, but it was quiet. I was pretty used to the smell. There were mildew and dust and old paper and, the way metal pipes smell when they get hot. It was like that. They'd bring me down for Halloween and they'd put me up afterward. And then one Halloween they didn't come get me. So I didn't come down that year. I know that year definitely was a new year. They didn't come down to get me after that year either, or the year after that. That's when I started to get worried about them. So I went downstairs and I couldn't find anybody. I felt around all the furniture and stuff was all gone. Maybe they moved out and forgot me.
And that's what led you to wandering the city streets.
Yeah, I waited around for a few weeks. And then some people opened the door to the front porch where the candy bowl usually is, and they came in. I didn't recognize their voices, but an audience is an audience, right? I went back downstairs from the attic, and well, they kind of freaked out. I guess. I mean, I'm used to hearing people scream, but not like that. One of them had what's it called, a metal thing. You hold it in your hand, it makes a sort of pop, and it smells like all chemical, and people get hurt.
A gun.
Okay, one of them had a gun, which I only found out when I walked up to her and tried to feel her face, which I admit wasn't the best idea. But well, I was kind of lonely to be honest. I thought maybe she might be one of the people from the family. You know, I mean, yeah, I should have asked first, but I was lonely and I was excited that there was someone else. And I thought maybe somebody I knew, but it wasn't. And then there was all screaming and the gun noises and then bad screaming. Not the fun kind at all, let me tell you. And then one of them was lying on the floor and smelling weird. That means he was dead, right? One of them was dead and the others ran away. But they left the front door open, so I decided that was a good time as any to go outside. So then I'm walking in the streets. There's cars all around me. They're honking at each other, making all these crashing noises, glass breaking, and there were lots of people screaming again and again. This is the bad screaming. But then I remembered there's usually a park close to the house, and I hoped if I went there with bushes and stuff that I could hide in, I could at least stay out of trouble. So I made it there, and I remember thinking, maybe if I could get to the back to Dr. Wondertainment, she could fix things. Help that guy from the house not be dead. figure out what went wrong, where the family went, or get somebody new to take me. And that's pretty much where you guys found me. She didn't send you, did she?
No, we intercepted some police reports.
Oh,
Tell me, why didn't you go back into the house, into the attic?
um, this is kind of embarrassing. I kind of, when I was out in the street with all the cars, I kind of got turned around a bit. I lost my bearings. I'm not used to being out in places that are bigger than just a house and a yard. Probably could have just found the house again if there weren't so many screaming people and crashing cars, but, well, I was starting to panic, so I just went for the place that sounded like there weren't many buildings.
I see, and why didn't you try to leave sooner?
Well, the front door wasn't open before that.
No, I mean, why did you wait so long before you even went downstairs? Before you decided that maybe something was wrong with you having been left alone in the attic for so long?
Oh, well, I guess I didn't really care. I was just thinking the attic was really quiet and the smell wasn't too bad. Made it easy to think that some things I do a lot. You know, while I'm waiting, not much else to do.
What did you think about?
Just things, things in general, the world, what it might be like, what's it like being me, nothing specific, I guess.
But for 3 years?
Yeah, why?
In log. Addendum 22871. SCP 2287 was able to give the following document when asked. Document 2933A. Wow! You've just found yourself your very own little mister. A limited edition collectible collection from Dr. Wondertainment. Find them all and become Mr. Collector. Mr. Chameleon, Mr. Headless, Mr. Laugh, Mr. Forgetful, Mr. Shapy, Mr. Soap, Mr. Hungry, Mr. Brash, Mr. Hot, Miss Sweetie, Mr. Life and Mr. Death, Mr. Fish, Mr. Moon, Mr. Red, discontinued, Mr. Money, Mr. Lost, redacted, Mr. Mad, Mr. Scary, and Mr. Stripes. Well, everybody, that was SCP 2287. I hope you all have a fine Halloween, and I hope whoever or whatever runs Doctor Entertainment has some new fun things for us to look at next time. Thank you all for listening, and I will see you all next time.